2% of dudes rapping, they ain't nice as me. 98% ain't lived the same type of life as me. The judge gave me life and damn, they sent me where the life is be. The level 4 with depth and fights, the type of shit they like to see. True choices fight or flee, I refuse to die a chump. I never been a bitch, but damn, it's scary when that riot jump. I seen dudes cry, get punked, some sexually brutalized. Knew a dude who lost his life and he was only doing 5. Year-long racial fights when homie, all you do is ride. Lonely days and nights up in a hole, causing suicide. From the moment you arrive, you see the Mexican mafia, bulldogs and skinheads with big giant swastikas, pro-black philosophers, the BGF and Gumi, and Muslims who will murk you from the nation to the Sunni. The Northerners was loony, quick to ride up on their rivals. Even Christians went to church, hide knives up in their Bibles. Political and tribal, the Crips and Damus, the Long Beach, the Hubs and the Dubs and the Grooves, the IEs, the Bakersfield, the Dago Pie Rules, the Hustlers quick to roll, the Gangsta Crips move. Whatever clique you choose, you better stick.
Say what's cracking. It's your boy 16 to Life, and I'm back like I'm on a parole violation. Yard down! So for those of y'all that's new to my page, in 1994, I got arrested. I was eventually sentenced to 16 years plus life, and I served 24 years straight in the California prison system. Yeah, that's me gassing on the intro, man. If you want to get that song, and both versions are available now on a 10-song EP that you can purchase by digital download, or you still can get it on CD. Hit me up on my email, 16tolife@gmail.com, or you can send me a message on Instagram at 16tolife, Cashapp, or Zelle me $20, and I'm gonna get it right to you. Also, I got 2 songs on all streaming sites, all platforms, Apple, Spotify, all that type of stuff. One song is called Never Gave Me Therapy, and I also have a song off that EP. It's called Rather Be a Square by 16 to Life. So check that out, man. Let's get right into this video. Today, we got an ugly situation to report, man, and I'm pretty sure many of you guys have already heard the circumstances surrounding a rapper out of Texas who goes by the name of GS Little Ronnie. Unfortunately, him and his 5-year-old daughter was shot and gunned down and killed, man. Horrible, unfortunate situations, man. We gotta keep it 100, man. The streets are not what they used to be. This stuff is ugly, and come on, man. We cannot endorse this type of stuff, you know. Like I say, I grew up in an era where all those who was not involved in these street activities was not caught up in these type of situations, man. Especially women and children, man. They was given a pass. This dude's 5-year-old daughter gunned down and killed. But anyway, for those of you guys who may have not heard about it, I know a lot of my audience doesn't necessarily keep up with quote unquote street activities. I'm not just to come on here and pretend like I knew who this dude is. I had not heard of him also myself. So for those of you guys who may have not seen the news clip, I'm gonna play the news clip for you.
Well, 2 people are dead after a shooting at a car wash in Forest Hill just outside of Fort Worth. Now, this is a scene that is still very active at this point, as dozens have come to see it unfold. Fox 4's Alex Boyer joins me now with the latest on this. Alex.
Hi, Hannah. You know, we've been here all day long, and so far, Forest Hill police have yet to provide us with any additional information. According to MedStar, though, 2 people were killed in a shooting at this car wash behind me, and a family member tells me that it was a man and his 5-year-old daughter. Take a look. That same relative provided me with this picture of Chucky Smith and his young daughter. I'm told her birthday was just yesterday. The 2 were reportedly at this Slappy's Express car wash located off I-20 and Forest Hill Drive shortly before 11 a.m. when they were fatally shot. Family and friends were visibly distraught as they arrived at the scene, folks leaning on one another for support. I spoke to Smith's aunt, who is desperate for answers.
All we know is that he was talked, he was doing the car, cleaning the car out, and somebody came through shooting and killed him and the baby. He was a good kid, y'all. He was. He didn't bother nobody. He didn't. Him and that baby.
Sky 4 captured part of the crime scene from up above. You can see a red Dodge Challenger with its doors open being processed by investigators. A neighbor told us that she heard between 15 to 20 gunshots. Fort Worth and Mansfield police officers are here assisting with crowd control. And at this point, again, we have limited information from Forest Hill Police. The police chief told us briefly by phone that this was still very much an active scene and that he would be putting out a press release later on. We're still waiting for that. So at this point, we don't know if they have any persons of interest, anybody in custody, or a motive for this deadly encounter.
And as you heard in the news clip, extremely unfortunate. And the news reporter said that the 5-year-old, his daughter, had just turned 5 a day before. So that was crazy, man. I can imagine the type of horror and fear that she had to endure in just those few seconds before those dudes bent that corner, came around there and took her life, you know. Who knows if those shooters recognized that she was in the car or not. You know, it's hard to tell from the video. And I do have an actual video of the shooting. And I'm going to play that for you guys right now before I get into more of this story right here. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this extremely unfortunate video of the shooting. And so, as you guys seen on the shooting, it appears that 2 shooters bend the corner. They run up on GS Little Ronnie. Initially, early in the video, he's out of sight, right? He can't be seen. They run up on him, apparently shooting at his car, and he runs away from the car, possibly in an attempt to get the shooters away from the car. Now, it appears that as he's running away from the car, one shooter is continuing to shoot up into the car, you know. So it's not known at this time. I don't want to speculate on what that shooter may have or may have not seen in the car. Clearly, GS Ronnie can be seen running in what appears to be a red tracksuit, jumpsuit, some type of way. He runs out and he turns to the left. And then he runs and they catch him kind of out of view. If you look more to the left, you can finally see them running up on him and shooting him. And he appears to fall on the ground. Now, as they ran up on him initially and he ran away from the car, and this is just me, you know, assuming and estimating by me watching the video, it appears, though, he wasn't hit initially by none of the shots. Or if he was, it didn't affect the way that he was running. It looked like that to me. Now, who knows? He may have been hit. He may have been hit and just pure adrenaline kept him running. And of course, you know, I don't know the makeup or the layout of that particular location that he was out. But it appears that if he had to turn right instead of turning left, he may have got away, because when he turned left, he runs along what appears to be maybe a fence, and possibly he was fenced in and could not escape. But I may continually show the video as I'm talking, but it's just like I say, an extremely sad situation, man. Now, I did a little research on GS Ronnie, because like I said, I didn't know of who he was before this incident occurred. And from what I could gather, he was not only a rapper, but he was also a big gambler in Texas. You know, gambling is big in different areas. And, you know, some people just gamble for a living, high stakes gambling, rolling dice, things of that nature, right? And so, but these dudes, man, you know, nowadays, and I'm talking about these particular shooters, but then I'm also saying nowadays, everything outside is pretty much on camera. You know, you have video cameras everywhere, especially at establishments and businesses, you know. So this car wash did have a camera. So these dudes, whoever ran up and did this shooting, they definitely have to be shaking in their boots right now and fearful of being caught. And I believe they will be caught. You know, you have witnesses around, you have other cars there. And so you have these two cars pulling away, which some of the suspects may have hopped in. And, you know, with a 5-year-old girl being killed, man, let's just keep it 100. This definitely is going to be a case that the authorities out there in Texas is going to want to solve. And then so with the technology of today, if need be, you know, they can bring the FBI in, blow them license plates. And so pretty soon, if not already, people are going to be arrested. And definitely you're going to have some people willing to exchange some information for their freedom. No question in my mind about that, right? And so I don't think you have a lot of dudes out there rooting for these dudes to escape captivity. You know, gunning down a 5-year-old girl, it's just horrible. It's extremely horrible, you know. And in my search to learn a little bit more about GS Ronnie, I typed his name in. A lot of things came up on him. And I happened to run across an interview that he did with a YouTuber who has a YouTube show by the name of Say Cheese. Say Cheese does interviews and stuff, and he happened to interview Little Ronnie. And so, I'm gonna play a portion of an interview that I ran across with Say Cheese and GS Ronnie.
And then, quiet as kept, y'all got in a shootout leaving the show.
Somewhat, you know.
Okay. And then they say, you know, luckily it could have got worse, but, you know, y'all wasn't lacking.
Man, I'm going to say it like this, man. You got certain that happen in this street / world, but, you know, that's the entertainment in the streets. You got some people that will take their entertainment to the internet and try to let the internet know for the people that don't know. Hey, this happened. I ain't gonna lie to you, that ain't even something that we glorify, or you know what I'm saying? But don't get me wrong, my nigga, that's just one situation. I probably had 50 of those situations before. You feel me?
Yeah. So you've been in a lot of shootouts that people don't know about.
Yeah, I've been in those situations before.
As we just saw in the interview, right? He's talking about a friend of his, Go Yayo, who they was real cool, and I guess at some point, Go Yayo had got sent to prison for some type of altercation incident out there in the streets, what have you, right? And he also mentions a shootout that they had got into leaving a radio station. Later on, you heard him mention that he has been in several incidents like that particular shooting that he was talking about. I believe the number that he gave was 50. Now, I don't know GS Ronnie. Like I said, I had never encountered him or ran across him before, so I really have no reason to doubt his word, right? But I don't believe that he had been in 50 shootings, incidents like that. That's an extremely high number. You know, if an individual is going to participate in 50 shootings, in just my opinion, right, he's not even going to get to the 50th shooting before he's either injured, dead, or in jail. So I don't believe that, right? Do I believe that he's been in 25? That's a whole lot as well, right? So I don't necessarily believe that either. But if I believe that he's been in half of 25, let's just say 12. Let's just say that he's been in 12 shootings, right? In that area that he resides in, and in places that he frequents and stuff like that. You have to be living a dangerous life, right? I've seen a couple interviews where people will mention that he was the more reserved and calm kickback dude out of out of him and his buddy Go Yayo. You know, they say Go Yayo is a little bit a little bit younger. I'm not familiar with him either, but they say he's younger and he's more of a hothead than GS Ronnie was, right? So they say GS Ronnie really wasn't a hothead and, you know, was more kickback, calm, cool, and collective, right? If he is that, right, more of the intelligent of the two, and he didn't come off as a braggadocious type, you know, gangster, one of these dudes in the streets and stuff. He came off, you know, that he was you know, intelligent to a degree. Then my next question is, if you have been in 12 shootings, why are you moving around with your daughter in the car? You know, 12 shootings is a high amount of situations. And let's go back to the number that he said. He said 50 incidents that was similar to the shooting that he described in leaving the radio station. And so if that is the case and the life that you are living causes you to encounter those dangerous type of settings and situations, then my question, man, is why would you have your daughter in the car, right? And so I don't want people to get it misconstrued. I don't want it to seem that I'm implying, insinuating, or straight out saying that this dude was responsible for his daughter getting killed, because that's not what I'm saying. He was not responsible. The people responsible for the death of his daughter, obviously, was the individuals who did the shooting. But if you are moving in dangerous circles like that, then why would you have your daughter with you in that environment? You know, I just don't understand, man. It reminds me of a individual from Chicago I've seen about a year and a half ago. This dude was a gang member, disrespectful gang member at that. He is at someone's grave. He's at the grave of his op or his enemy. Talking stuff, and they're recording this and then uploaded it to social media platforms, YouTube and so on and so forth. And he's at the grave of someone that he used to have beef with. And at some point during the video, they urinate on this dude's grave. Shortly thereafter, he's riding around in the car with his young daughter. Friends of whoever he was dissing or individuals who he was beefing with, obviously, seen his car at McDonald's and went and shot his car up. In the car also is his young daughter. And so it just, you know, it boggles my mind that if you're living this type of lifestyle, and if that's the lifestyle you chose for yourself, fine. But you definitely have to move in a way that puts protection and it safeguards on the people you love, especially your children who have not asked for that type of life, right? And so to me, that's just crazy. You know, it's just extremely crazy that if you're living that type of lifestyle, you know, why would you involve your children in any type of degree? And so, yeah, I just don't understand that, man. You know, I don't understand that. And it just it's just a horrible situation. It's just a horrible situation, man, that unfortunately this man's young daughter, who, according to the news reporter, had just turned 5 a day before. And now her life is lost due to obviously some type of street beef that her father was caught up in, man. An individual can go and research his name, GS Little Ronnie, in the same manner that I did, because once again, I had never heard of the individual before this unfortunate, tragic incident happened. And you'll hear a lot of different theories on the reason of his demise and the demise of his daughter. I definitely don't want to get too deep into that. But I did see that some people had told him that he could not go back to that car wash, to stay away from that car wash, you know. And according to these individuals, basically his ego took him back to the car wash, pretty much on some like, you know, you guys ain't fit to run me away from nowhere, so on and so forth. You know, you guys can pull up videos like I did, and you'll see an individual saying that that dude was not supposed to go to that car wash. Obviously somebody from his area who, you know, who may have more information on the situation. And so crazy situation, man. You know, crazy situation. I just gotta say, man, you know, to me, I'm from a generation where, you know, stuff that happened in the street stayed in the street, and it stayed in the street for the most part of those who were involved in street activities. When you ran across somebody with their mama, their little brother, their little daughter, grandma, or somebody who was not involved in whatever you had going on, you just gave that man a pass. Basically, you let him pass, and you acted as if you have not seen him. But obviously, those are no longer the codes and the practices of the individuals who are out there in the streets today, man. And so I don't support that type of stuff. You know, I'm not just to get up here and act like I support the killing of a 5-year-old girl who had no goings on. She had no interest in this beef, and she had nothing to do with what was going on, man. So that's a horrible situation. And like I say, you know, you got a lot of dudes out there, a lot of people out there that's not rooting for the freedom of those shooters, and I'm one of them, man. That's ridiculous, you know. And so those out there in the street, man, we definitely got to move smarter, man. If we gonna be in the street, we can't be with our loved ones. You can't be out there and have your loved ones in any type of situation that could potentially get them killed, man. You know, you got a lot of dudes nowadays who don't care who they harm. They don't care who they shoot, so on and so forth. And that's just an ugly situation. I disagree with it. It's ugly. Anyway, you already know what time it is. It's your boy 16 to life. Resume normal program.